Hello, hi, this is ggurface and I'll be talking about a game between SeleCT and Strelok. SeleCT is playing as the red Terran player at the 12 o'clock position, and Strelok is playing as the blue Terran at the 6 o'clock position. The map is Lost Temple, and as this game is getting underway, I would like to take a moment to tell you guys, StarCraft is a thing I love because it makes me laugh and cry. I enjoy reading your comments and your responses, and I'm very sad whenever I see the Blizzard repair tool. It almost feels like I'm dating the Blizzard repair tool because we meet quite often at the oddest times, and whenever our eyes meet, my heart skips a beat and she brings me to my feet, for my life has just become complete. And it's really a sad thing because when I see this Blizzard repair tool, I know for the next 5-10 minutes of my life, it's gonna be repairing the 14,295.2 megabytes worth of StarCraft 2 installation on my computer, and that makes me want to cry. I'm not sure how many of you have experiences with that. It's almost like calling a technical support center and the guy doesn't speak English, or doesn't speak French, or whatever dialect or language you speak. And we do see both players are scouting in the incorrect direction, but that is natural because they do want to scout the closest direction for both bases, which is across the Xel'Naga Watchtower. And as both players are pretty much doing the identical thing, the orbital command as well as one Marine, and we will see that one SCV, another SCV will be going the correct way and maybe will be able to get inside the base, but one Marine has spawned and the other Marine has also spawned at the same time. So it's very ooh, and this Marine's gonna deny the scout for this SCV. He really wants to keep that SCV alive, and SeleCT is gonna try to deny Strelok's SCV as well. Second Marine has spawned. Ooh, very close to death there. One more shot and Strelok's SCV will go down. Very fine control from Strelok, and he's running his SCV away at the moment. The Marines are giving chase to that SCV, and the other SCV is actually on the Xel'Naga Watchtower, and these two Marines are giving chase to that SCV. One Marine does stay at the Xel'Naga Watchtower and the other SCV does run away. This is almost like a mind game. Both players reading each other exactly correct and does the exact right thing, and no one has lost a unit just yet. That is always fun to see. We do see the second gas being taken by SeleCT as well as Strelok. Strelok has actually finished his second gas a little bit slightly, a couple of seconds before SeleCT. And factory going down, whereas the factory has gone down for Strelok. We might be seeing a starport as well because both these players, this is game number 1 between both these players, and they have not played with each other a lot, so they might be going for the safe build, which is putting down the starport, and both players are doing that at the moment. 2 Marines at the Xel'Naga Watchtower versus 4 Marines on the ledge. It makes me wonder, in the new patch and the coming patches, I hope they make some great changes to this game to make it even greater. Because one of the things I wanted to implement in a future patch is a jetpack for the Zealots. Imagine, if you will, 1,000 minerals and 1,000 gas will give your Zealots the ability to fly or hop. They can hop and maybe smack an air vehicle and then forced to be on the ground for the next 5 or 10 seconds. It's like the Stalker Blink, but yeah, not quite Blink. In any event, I know it's a silly idea, but StarCraft is a great game. There's a lot of balance, and a lot of the ideas from the single player campaign are wonderful, and if they can implement some of it in multiplayer, it will be so awesome. Maybe they can make, one scan does go off for Strelok, and SeleCT is gonna scan at the same time. Both players checking what each other are doing, and we do see one Banshee as well as Cloak going down for SeleCT at the moment. One thing to note is, if we take a look at this tech lab, it looks like it's working. It looks like he's researching. You might think that's normal because a lot of times you can tell a building is building or not. For instance, this barrack is building something. But if you take a look at this other tech lab, it's not doing anything. It's completely idle. And it has the same animation, so you can't really tell exactly what's going on by looking at the tech lab structure. But for some of the other structures, such as a Stargate, you can tell exactly what the opponent is doing. For instance, if he's building a Phoenix, you will see a little outline of a Phoenix, or a Void Ray, or a Carrier. You can tell all that just by looking at the structures. And we do see that Cloak is being researched, and it's gonna finish maybe relatively soon, as this Banshee wants to get inside that base and then take a peek at those juicy SCVs. a command center is going down for both players. Strelok slightly ahead. It seems that Strelok is slightly ahead all game, but that doesn't really matter. It all comes down to who does what at what time, and Siege Tech is being researched by Strelok as well as a medevac, whereas SeleCT has decided to go with lots of Banshees. This Banshee has started cloaking, and he's going to start shooting away at his SCVs. He does not have enough energy for the scan, but there is one Raven. I think Strelok made a very good move, did guess correctly, and this Banshee is forced to retreat, and another Banshee actually coming right now. Orbital Command still does not have enough for a scan at the moment, and if he calls down another mule, he will not have enough energy to scan once again. Strelok wanting to move out, and then there is another Banshee coming in, killing one SCV that time, and the Raven is coming back across, and this Banshee wants to continue harassing, but he simply cannot do it. And we will see 50 energy once again for the Orbital Command. Let's see if he uses a mule or if he's going to save it up for a scan. Some Marines as well as some tanks moving across, and because that Banshee play, Strelok is forced to put down some missile turrets for his base. And we might see an engagement at the middle. His medevac's flying slightly out of position. He does lose one medevac over there, and as these troops are retreating for SeleCT is going to harass inside the base, both at the natural expansion and inside his base. He's actually shooting at the natural expansion, does take down one SCV. Second SCV is going to go down. This one is not actually cloaked at the moment, but one Viking does spawn. We'll be able to push that Banshee away. At the meantime, this Banshee is getting a lot of kills. 6 kills at the moment, 7 kills, and he's killing off a lot of SCVs. 9 kills, and this other Banshee just got enough energy, but I don't think he needed to cloak at that time. And wow, this one Banshee has 10 kills. Very, very nice work for that Banshee. This Banshee run out of energy, and I think he could have gotten a couple of SCV kills, but he was probably minding his business. Another Banshee on the side, but that Banshee does run into the missile turret. If we take a look at the income right now, wow, huge advantage for SeleCT. He has almost 3 times the amount of minerals, as he did manage to take down a good number of the SCVs. We do see the SCV counts 41 versus 23. Another Banshee being taken down by some Marines. Right now, Strelok, knowing that he's a little bit behind perhaps, or maybe not knowing he's behind, he's actually sieging up outside the base, and inside the base SeleCT is sieging up, both just slightly out of each other's reach. It's the Cold War, it's the stare down. One scan goes off, and lets Strelok knows, hey, I'm watching you. And Strelok is thinking about attacking, or maybe not attacking. We do see stem and concussive shells apparently being researched by SeleCT, whereas Strelok has just decided to get his 2 gases. For the first time, I think Strelok has fallen a little bit behind to that very, very nice micro on those Banshees. Multiple locations, did not have enough scans, only one Raven. There's only so much he can do. Right now, we have a cold stare down between these 2 players. Goes, you're not going to move up, I'm not going to move down, and here's where we are. Stem pack is almost being complete for the infantry for SeleCT, whereas Strelok has not yet researched those things, and he's only moving out a couple of SCV, maybe to grab control of the Zelnaka Watchtower. I don't think he's thinking about double expanding. That would be kind of silly. Additional 2 Vikings joining in the fight. If we take a look at the unit composition, a lot of Marines for both players, a couple of siege tanks, and some Vikings, almost identical. But we do see a lot of Marauders in favor of SeleCT because he did have that mineral advantage. We do see 1 point defense drone being thrown up by Strelok, and now SeleCT wants to encroach on the territory of Strelok, or Strelok is actually being pushed back a little bit because we do have a couple of 1 medevac. Is there another medevac? Just 1 medevac worth of Marauders going around the edge of the map. We do see 2 dual construction of missile turrets on the sides. Very, very good idea. Maybe able to pick off some of those drops if they are just not queued up correctly, or you queue it up and you forget about it. Another command center going up for SeleCT at the moment. Another point defense drone has gone up for Strelok, making his opponent not really want to engage. A scan goes off in the middle. An additional Vikings does show up for the fight. Both players still staring each other down. Not too much going on. A lot of psychological mind games. We do see 1 medevac going around, making his way to the side of the base of Strelok. And Strelok doesn't have too much over here. He does have a couple of Marauder that's just spawned, and we will see an engagement, not really an engagement, more of a slaughter of a supply depot. He should really run in these things to kill off the SCVs. Kill the SCVs, what are you doing? He does take off one SCV, and then he's actually engaging these Marauders, and they will go down to the hugging of those SCVs. These Marauders do not like to be hugged by SCVs. And the sensory tower does go up right next to the missile turret. Very, very good idea. A sensor tower does go up for SeleCT as well over here. And both players still just staring at each other's face, not quite engaging in each other's range for the siege tanks, but very, very close. Both players gearing up to mid-game. Neither player has gotten any upgrades for any units, but the point defense drone went down there, I believe. Both players still on 0-0 at the moment. If we take a look at the unit count, slightly in favor of SeleCT for pretty much everything except for Vikings, which is slightly in favor of Strelok. And he's going to use his Vikings